kita.
Hi everyone, welcome back with me Mr. Rian Randi in Research Methodology class. This is our first meeting. We are going to explore the basic concept of research. So, what is a research? According to experts, research is systematic and methodological approach to acquiring new knowledge or solving problems. Our goal is not just to understand it, but to actually be able to structure our thinking, to formulate problems, design experiments, analyze data, and present findings scientifically. But before we start today's material, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kuliah Teknokrat YouTube channel to get other interesting content from Teknokrat Indonesia University. Alright, for today's meeting, our learning objectives are finding a research topic that aligns with your scientific discipline and then understanding the step in conducting research, how to formulate a problems. Generating research topic ideas is like a treasure hunt. It requires strategies. As a researcher, there are several effective methods you can apply to find topic ideas that are not only interesting, but also relevant and worth investigating. These easiest and often most effective ways to start with you enjoy or are good at. Think about this. Which course or topics most interest you during your studies? Or what problems do you frequently encounter daily or in your environments like campus, works, or community? Third, what internship of projects have you experienced that make you curious to explore further? Personal interest will keep you motivated throughout the lengthy research process. Next, explore the latest scientific literature. Good research always builds on previous research, so you can conduct an in-depth literature review. You can read the latest scientific journal in your field, use databases like Scopus, IEEE Explore, ICM Digital Library, or Science Direct. Pay attention to the future works or conclusions. As researchers will usually outline the limitations of their studies and direction for future research. Fifth, identify research gap. So we have some questions like, are there any topics that haven't been widely researched? Or are there contradictory results between studies? Or are there new methods that can be applied to old problems? The sixth, analyze current trends and developments. What technology are booming? What new and promising methods are emerging? For example, in the agriculture sector, the main problem is land scarcity. So hydroponic, especially on a household or urban scales, is an alternative to land problems. Furthermore, conventional agriculture requires a very large volume of waters, often triggering water crises in many areas. Hydroponic use a closed circulation system that is significantly more water efficient, reducing water use by 70 until 90% compared to traditional method. This is a crucial solution in areas with limited water supplies or prone to drought. Given the various problems mentioned above, research proposal to develop hydroponic system for home are highly strategic. Research could focus on designing hydroponic systems that are easy to implement and energy efficient for the household scale, and developing IoT or AI-based sensor and monitoring system to make home hydroponics smarter and more automated. Impactful research topics often arise from major issues facing society or the world, such as environmental issues, social issues, technology trends, government policies like the SDGs and Asta Cita by President Prabowo. Next, discussion with lecturers or experts. Don't hesitate to consult with your supervisor or experts in your field. They have extensive experience and often harbor research ideas that haven't been realized or could be developed further. These discussions can also help you narrow down your research scope of an overly broad idea. Next, participating in seminar or conference. Attending seminar, workshop, or scientific conference is a great way to gain inspirations. You can see the latest presentations, interact with other researchers, and discovering trending topics. The most important things before starting research is to consider the availability of data and resources. Once you have some ideas, it's important to evaluate their feasibility. Like, is data available or can you collect it? And then, do you have the necessary tools or software? And then, is the time frame realistic for completing this research? The last is, are there any faculty member with the expertise to guide you on this topic? Next, formulating research problems is a crucial foundational step. It's not simply about finding something interesting, but rather a systematic process of identifying knowledge gap, unsolved practical issues, or limitations of existing solutions and methods. The goal to find questions that are relevant, significant, and scientifically answerable through research. For example, start by examining technology trends, industry challenges, or societal problems that computing can solve. For example, how can we improve data security in the age of quantum computing? Or what AI solutions are most effective for disease detections? Finding a research problem definitely takes a process. You will often start with a broad idea before narrowing it down. The key is to move from a general, wide-ranging problems to a specific, clearly defined and researchable issues. A general problem is a broad issue or challenge we see in the world, in practice, or in existing literatures. It's usually an area that grabs our attentions because there are mismatch, a shortcoming, or a significant impact that is not fully understood or resolved yet. General problems are often descriptive and involve many interconnected factors. On the other hand, a specific problem is a narrow, more focused, and measurable way to state a general problem. It's the exact part of that broader issue you want to solve or understand through your research. These specific problems will then be broken down further into research questions. For example, the general problems is that social media data holds a lot of complex information that hard to analyze. So, a specific problems observed during the last general elections was the presence of harmful comments from the public on the X platform, specifically related to hate speech. Thus, we can formulate research with a focus on developing methods to effectively detect and classify hate speech on social media data, particularly on specific platforms such as application X in the context of the public elections. Look at the figure beside. Problem formulations have many steps. There are identification research problems, identification scope of research, identification research questions, and in this step, and the last step is identification research objective. In any research, a structured process is key to achieving valid and relevant results. The fundamental initial stage of research begin with identifications of the research problems, where we identify a significant issue or knowledge gaps to investigate. Once the general problems has been identified, the next step is to identify the research scope, which is to limit the scope of the problems so that the research become more focused, realistic, and manageable. From this clear scope, we then formulate the research questions or identification research questions, which a specific interrogative statement about that what we want to answer through the research. Finally, based on the research questions, we establish the research objective or identification research objective, which concretely define the desired results or outcomes of the entire research process. These four stages are interrelated and serve as the primary foundations for designing a systematic and impactful study. So, we can detail some questions to develop our thinking framework, such as we have some questions are, is there any problems encountered so far? What the impact of the problems? Who involved in that problems and extra? And the next step, we have some questions like, to what extent the problems may disrupt further activities? Given the constraint, is the scope manageable? That was interesting, right? Now you can express your idea and type it in the comment sections. So, in conclusions, you have learning the concept of research, learning how to find topic ideas, and explore how to formulate research problems. We must understand that research is a systematic and structured process that guides us to discoveries and problem solving. In the next meeting, we will learn how the logical thinking process is applied to two basic approaches, like deductive and inductive reasoning. Before we end the sessions, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kuliah Teknokrat YouTube channel so you don't miss any other interesting material from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. See you in the next sessions and bye-bye! Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, alma mater tercinta, junjungan kita.